just a reminder, we still have 3 minutes before we can start, so you guys can keep talking. Yeah, it's 1:58. I'll let you know when it's 2. Well, we're getting rid of that system soon anyway. I will tell you guys that we're going to try to do a run with the new system next week for you guys at Rules. So that should be interesting. We figured this was the best committee to test it on because of your technological skills. We can do that next. It's a new system. There's gonna be like a thingy in front of you with a microphone attached to it, and that's you will walk in and you're gonna sign in, and then you'll vote through that system and you'll request to speak through that system. It'll be slightly slower because we're all learning it, so it requires a little more work on the clerk side, more clicking, but it should be simple for you guys. 1:59.
All right, it's 2 o'clock, so we're going to call our Rules and Open Government Committee meeting to order. I want to welcome our newest member, Councilmember Vice Mayor Kamei, joining us today. For roll call, we have 4 of us present. Councilmember Davis is missing, so we don't think we need to do an official roll call. All right, first item on the agenda is the review of the February 14th agenda, starting with closed session at 9:30, regular session at 1:30, no evening session. School ceremonials, and then consent. Pages 6 and 7. We have a total of 12 items on consent. And then section 3. We have our usual 3.1, 3.2. We have a mid-year budget report, discussion on the security guard contract, and then take 3 of committees and boards and commission appointments, and hopefully the final take. Nothing in section 4. Section 5, transportation, an airport contract, investment infrastructure grant. Section 6, no items. Section 7 is deferred. Section 8, COVID aid, and then deferral of 8.2. Land use consent, but the rest of land use is deferred to February 28th. So let's go to public comment.
Blair Beekman.
Hi, Blair Beekman. You have an item 7 point something that is digital equity issues that's being deferred. I just wanted to thank yourselves for having such an item on your agenda at this time, and that we're starting to begin the conversation on the importance of digital equity. With such a new council and staff and everybody, I guess I need to repeat some of my really important talking points that I feel I've been trying to do for 8 years now here. It's things that are familiar to ourselves, I think, and that, I think we're understanding and what we've been working on, but as some gentle reminders, digital equity, the importance of bridging the digital divide is I'm learning it is an important concept, and I very much respect its important concepts. President Biden, in his State of the Union yesterday, mentioned the continuing importance of helping to bridge the digital divide issues, and then mentioned the concept we need to do it with American manufacturing and jobs and such. I think the additional extra point to also be considering in bridging the digital divide issues at the local level is how do we consider what it's doing to the people at the local level? And that means how do we create an accountable process for the future of digital equity and accountability issues and bridging the digital divide issues, broadband, 5G. We need to be accountable. We need to have good policies. We need to have our broadband installers follow good practices, and we need to hold them accountable to those good practices. That's the simplest way to do it. We have to have good conversations with our neighborhood associations and make sure neighborhood associations have the ability to teach people in local neighborhoods how to appeal the process if they're uncomfortable with things. It can take place. We don't have to be bulldozed into this. It's a shared process. Let's learn how to work well. Thank you.
Paul Soto.
Good afternoon, Paul Soto from the Horseshoe. It's a law, okay? Just so that you guys know that you're breaking the law. And of course, no one goes to jail on your part, but you're breaking the law. And here's how. On the consent calendar, it is against the law to have anything go through consent that has as a budget anything at $1 million or more. Check your budget, check your law. Nora Freeman, check it, because I'm 100% correct on this. On the consent calendar, you have an item that is $1.7 million, and you're going to go through consent. We have laws, people. Follow them, respect them. It's what you demand of the citizenry, don't you? What about when it comes to the city of San Jose? Who holds them to account? People like me, people like Blair, people that are concerned citizens that don't collect money from nonprofits and allow the entire democratic process to be circumvented and perverted because they do your bidding on the street. So you pay them hush money. I can't be bought. That's the problem. I can't be bought and I can't be silenced. So what do? Is you try to leverage power to lock me in a cage. Not going to happen. I think you've seen that already. I think you've seen how much backup I got. This is against the law. You cannot have an item on the consent calendar, once again, in case you didn't hear me correctly. You cannot have on the consent calendar any item that is at $1 million threshold or above. Anything above that, you have to have a conversation. It has to be formally agendized. Now, before, we were able to pull from the consent calendar, then all of a sudden you changed that. And this is the reason why.
Back to the committee.
Okay, any comments or motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, let's vote. All right, motion carries 4-0. Now we're on to consent, and we'll move to public comment.
Blair Beekman.
Hi, Blair Beekman here. Thanks for the words of Paul. I'd like to speak more about that subject at open forum time. You have on the consent a monthly activities report from the city auditor by January. I think this is a really great item each month that is offered. He used to be here to present the item, but it just offers a bunch of city services that he's working on that I think is just really interesting. Usually it's interesting choices and just makes for interesting conversation for this sort of open forum process if people want to talk about the issues that they're working on each month. So thanks for it again, and something to review and look over. I also wanted to comment on the Ukraine flag raising ceremony that will be taking place. I spoke a few words of public comment yesterday. Sorry if they seemed a little weird, but interestingly, I think they're helpful. I really think we have to have a different attitude about how we talk about Ukraine. we simply do not ever talk about in this country the concepts of a two-state solution for the future of Ukraine. And that was simply on the table before this whole process even started, that Russia broke through and went to war. That I think has been that that's why I'm so angry at Russia, because they broke through these diplomatic relations in the first place that we're counting on. A lot of good people, progressive people, were counting on is how to talk about this issue. We keep trying to bring them back to this space, and in this country, nobody wants to talk about it openly. Why is that? We need to have that open conversation. A two-state solution is a good middle ground at this point. We're going to come back to the same space in 2 years' time at the same place with tons more people being hurt. Let's start the peace negotiation process now. Let's ask them to stop fighting on the battlefield and put their fighting onto the negotiation table. Thank you.
Paul Soto.
Paul Soto from the Horseshoe. This is how you pervert justice and how you pervert the law and how you con the citizens of San Jose. Now, they'll know after you guys are out of office what it is that you've done. But it's important for people like me and Blair to put this on the public record so that when that time comes, the city can't claim ignorance, because we were warning people about what it is that you guys are doing right now. Here's the example: urban community. Urban community is a direct, by design, it is the brainchild of Gary Dillabo. Gary Dillabo is working with Omar Torres at San Jose Downtown Association with Scott Neese. That I don't know who that dude is. He's from Beverly Hills. He wants to design downtown to be like Beverly Hills. And you guys are complicit. Excuse me. And you guys are complicit with this. You guys just next item. Look at the complexion of this rules committee. You guys set the agendas. Look, Foley, Cohen, Davis. I mean, come on, man. You can't get any more.
Is this on the consent calendar, Paul?
Yeah, it's on the consent calendar because I'm talking about the corruption with urban community. That's the topic. Hey, man, I'm sorry, my thought process isn't as siloed as yours. Maybe if yours wasn't as siloed and you see all these connections and how the corruption is done, then maybe you'd see my perspective, but you don't.
Back to the council or committee.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion?
Move approval of the consent calendar.
All right, we'll vote. And
Second.
oh, she said second. Yeah.
Thank you. Just so you know, we can't hear you if you don't have your microphone on. We're too far away. Or just speak up when you second. And Jimenez, we need you to vote.
All right, consent calendar passes 4-0. All right, that leads us to open forum.
Blair Beekman.
Hi, Blair Beekman. Paul Soto was clearly speaking on item B6 that's specifically talking about the future of an urban confluence Silicon Valley project quarterly. And he really put it out there, what we really need to expect of that sort of group. I take his words to heart, and he's offering good words how to be very mindful of groups like this. So thank you for his words and work. That was simply a part of the process. To also comment, boy, he hit it right on. Just there's no other way to talk about the consent calendar item issue, I don't think. When things are over $1 million, it just simply has to be an open public process to have that put on consent in the future. It's my understanding. You guys may know something different, but he's certainly on the right track. That I thank him for that. And as I try to bring up procedural matters about our council agendas in the future, I hope what I'm saying and what Paul's saying can be respected, and that there just can be conversation. The key is just to have those conversations, and good luck how we can do that, because I think he's definitely on the right track with this issue. With my remaining 1 minute to conclude, Ro Khanna, Zoe Lofgren, two beloved and very well respected and very decent congresspersons for ourselves here in the South Bay, recently voted that we need to practice the concepts of anti-socialism and hate all forms of anti-socialism to enter our realm in the future of dialogue and political discourse. I found this work absolutely stunningly appalling, and that is basically based on the concepts of somehow promoting the war effort in Ukraine, and that we're all big, bloody, strong Americans, and we don't tolerate any of this socialist things, when all we do is talk about good, caring community practices with each other and what can be our better selves. It's ridiculous they're talking on that level, and that's from the war effort that's been ridiculous. Let's grow up, people.
Paul Soto,
Thank you for that, Blair. I appreciate that. Paul Soto from the Horseshoe, the Raising the Flag statue. Now, Michael Ogilvy at the Arts Commission said yesterday, oh, well, like real cavalier, yeah, it's going to come down sometime. We don't know when or where. I'm letting you know, I expect and demand a time and a date for the purposes of ceremony, because this is going to be California. It's going to be broadcast nationwide. Oh, yeah. Believe me, I've already contacted some news outlets on the East Coast and Democracy Now! So this is going to be broadcast as national news because, of course, I know you guys are all in agreement with it. No one's racist here. No one's racist here. And in fact, we have members of our joint of this committee that espouse, oh my God, the Holocaust is evil. That must be done with and down with. But when it comes to Native American decapitations that flowed from the placement of that flag, all of a sudden it's crickets. Huh? Want to talk about hypocrisy? You want to talk about hypocrisy while you label it democracy? No. Prove it then. Prove it. Give the Native American the same respect that you expect and demand for the Jew. The same respect for the Holocaust I demand of the Native American, because everything that flowed from the placement of that flag meant decapitation. And we as a community, the Native American and the Chicanos, have never had an opportunity to mend from that, to heal from that. And now, at a time of this growth, all that's happening now, Manifest Destiny 2.0, baby. That's
Gail Ann Osmer,
Wow. Okay. Hi. Good afternoon. I know that the Red Cross did a wonderful, wonderful job when the emergency declaration was declared. But after that, the Red Cross does not step up for any unhoused that get burned out of their camp. Pointing many times over, at Columbus, they would never come out. There was 7 people that got burned out. Red Cross never showed up. They don't show up when people's camps get burned. There was a fire in one of the camps that I go to in District 9 yesterday, and the scow lost everything. She needs to get into a motel. Red Cross does not offer any of that. They don't even come out and check on the people. So luckily, they called me. They normally call me. I have a lot of things I'm going to bring to her. But people need to check into this. You need to please look into why the Red Cross is not stepping up and going to camps. It's very sad. And they did a good job stepping up for when they were called on for this declaration. But many times I've been called, as I was last night, saying, we need help. There's nobody here to help you. And I was hoping maybe the D9 council person, sorry, don't want to put you on the spot, but I just did. Maybe we can get her a couple of nights in a motel. So please, somebody take this up and check into why Red Cross doesn't help. Thank you.
call in user 1,
Yeah, hi, Martha O'Connell. To the three council persons who were called out, Rules Committee persons who were called out by a previous speaker on the basis of their complexion, I really don't care what your complexion is. I'm more concerned with the content of your character. And after I get off this phone call, I'm going to go peruse some essays by Shelby Steele and John McWhorter, who I enjoyed reading when I was getting my postgraduate degree in African American Studies. Thank you.
Back to the committee.
All right, we are adjourned at 2:18 p.m. Thank you.